Good afternoon. This is Flo News at noon on Flo 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. My name is Weniher Jackson. Quickly, a look at the headlines. Senate proposes National Security Summit. Federal workers earning below 30,000 naira to start getting new minimum wage. Abia House of Assembly tasks state government on proposed inland container depot. And on the foreign scene, Sudan junta and civilians sign power sharing deal. The details in a moment. President Muhammadu Buhari says the success recorded in degrading Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast will be extended to other parts of the country experiencing similar challenges. The president, who said this while receiving executive members of the Nigeria Medical Association NMA, assured Nigerians that security still tops his list of priorities.
Those who politicize the isolated instance of insecurity are not patriotic Nigerians. I am confident that these administrations use all the resources at its disposal to protect the lives and properties of all Nigerians, and not just prominent Nigerians or those who make headlines.
The Senate is proposing a national security summit to address the security situation in the country. The proposition was part of contributions to a motion raised by Senator Ayo Akinye-Lure on the murder of Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, daughter of the Afenifere leader.
We have to demand, Mr. President, an action by our security forces. We have to demand an action by the presidency. We need to stand up and find a solution to this problem, Mr. President.
It's very obvious that our internal security is in shambles. It's nothing to write to be found.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, believes it's the duty of the Senate to organize a security summit to proffer lasting solutions to the incessant killings across the country.
It will be the duty of the Senate to hold an all-encompassing and all-inclusive national summit on security, including the executive arm of government, of course, because we have to work together with them to ensure that we address this situation.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to declare a state of emergency on Nigeria's security. National chairman of the party, Uche Secondus, who made the call while briefing reporters in Abuja on the PDP's position on security in the country, aligned himself with an open letter to President Buhari by former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the concerns raised by other prominent Nigerians.
The main issue, if I may dare say, is poor management or mismanagement of diversity, which, on the other hand, is one of our greatest and most important assets. The level of bloodletting occasioned by the barrage of criminalities across the country can only be happening in a country without government.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan has condemned the murder of Funke Olakunrin, daughter of Afenifere's national leader, Reuben Fashoranti. Jonathan, during a condolence visit to the family, called for a separate government agency that will handle the security challenges facing Nigeria.
I was there as a president for some time. Security challenges were there with me. It is getting worse every day, and we cannot continue to use the same old method. As security operatives, the police, the SSS, the armed forces, we must deploy technology. And I believe that if the federal government will need to even set up a special unit, just like we set up EFCC and ICPC to handle specific issues of corruption, so that they will know that their total responsibility is to manage this kidnapping.
Federal public service workers currently earning below 30,000 naira will now begin to earn the new national minimum wage. This is because President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate implementation of 30,000 naira for workers in that category. The personal assistant to the president on new media, Bashir Ahmad, disclosed this in a series of tweets on Tuesday evening. Chairman of the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, Richard Egbule, made the announcement while addressing reporters in Abuja on the implementation of the new minimum wage. Nigeria Medical Association is not happy with alleged inaction of the federal government to address poor state of primary health care in the country. The NMA president, Dr. Francis Adedayo Faduile, made this known while addressing State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari.
We are not satisfied with the progress that has been made at the level of the primary health care centers. We have suggested to the president that we should look at ways of encouraging the states to employ medical personnel and other health professionals so that we can properly staff those at the primary health care centers.
Abia State Governor Okeze Ekpeazu says agriculture remains a major pillar that could solve the problems of unemployment and industrialization bedeviling the Nigerian economy. Governor Ekpeazu, who was speaking during the inauguration of the 2019 farming season, organized by Bank of Agriculture in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and Abia State Government, said any state that is serious about sustainable growth must find a way to mainstream agriculture.
There is hardly any crop that will not do well in our soil. And I want to seize this opportunity to invite the youths of today to look the way of agriculture as a major vocation, leveraging the impetus that Bank of Agriculture is given by providing financing, heavily supported by the Central Bank.
The Nkemukoro faction of All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, has dismissed the report credited to Augustine Ehimere faction that Dr. Alex Oti, the party's Abia State governorship candidate in 2015 and 2019, has been suspended. The Okoro faction, in a statement by the publicity secretary, Ebere Uzokwa, dismissed the suspension as baseless, saying it came from some impostors masquerading as ABGA members in the state.
The duo of Augustine Ehimere and Sunday Onukubiri do not belong to the executive of our great party at any level in the state. Hence, they lack powers and authority to suspend Dr. Alex Oti and any other member of our great party. Ehimere, Onukubiri, and a few dissidents from our party regrouped shortly after the 2019 general elections and shamelessly aligned with the People's Democratic Party to frustrate Dr. Alex Oti's petition at the Abia State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Omaya.
However, the Augustine Ehimere-led State Working Committee, through its Deputy Publicity Secretary Simeon Onyeji, insisted that the action followed due process.
The State Working Committee of our great party deliberated on the report of the committee set up by the SWC of the party in Abia State. That is hereby ratify the expulsion of Mr. Nkemukoro on the 15th of June 2019 from the party by his Ward 2, Arochukwu AGA, Abia State.
Abia State government has been urged to, as a matter of urgency, comply with its own parts of agreement to enable the construction of the proposed inland container depot in Intiga Isialangwa North local government area of the state. Reacting to the matter of urgent public importance raised by Honorable Ginger Onwusibe during plenary, the Speaker, Chinedum Orji, urged the state government to liaise with the Federal Ministry of Transport to ensure the take-off of the project.
That we resolve to apply persuasive action from the House of Assembly to ask our state government to do the needful. If there are conditions and understandings that have not been met with respect to the actualization of this project, we will ask government to do whatever that it is necessary to do to ensure that this project is delivered.
Also during plenary, the House constituted 25 different committees to carry out oversight functions of the House. Flo News at Noon continues shortly with business, foreign, and sports news. Please stay tuned. Nation's external debt stock rose by 148% in almost 4 years of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, according to data from the Debt Management Office. The external debt soared to $25.61 billion on March 31, 2019, and from $10.32 billion on June 30, 2015. The debt owed the World Bank rose to $8.9 billion from $6.19 billion in the period under review. Now, foreign news. Sudan's ruling military council and opposition leaders have signed a power-sharing accord after all 9 talks. The deputy head of Sudan's ruling military council, Mohammed Hamdan, described the event as a milestone towards restoring civilian rule to the country. The military seized power in April after deposing Omar al-Bashir. And now sports. Odion Ighalo will continue his push for the top scorer honor when the Super Eagles take on the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia in the third-place match of 2019 Africa Cup of Nations tonight. Ighalo plays for Chinese Premier League club Shanghai Shenhua, lead the scorers chart with 4 goals. The former Watford striker scored the winning goal in Nigeria's first Group B game against the Swallows of Burundi and added 3 more goals in the win against Cameroon and in the defeat to Algeria. And now, to end the news, a recap of our major stories. The Senate is proposing a national security summit to address the security situation in the country. Federal public service workers currently earning below 30,000 naira will now begin to earn the new national minimum wage. Abia state government has been urged to, as a matter of urgency, comply with its own part of the agreement to enable the construction of the proposed inland container depot in Intiga, Isialangwa North local government area of the state. And from the foreign scene, we told you that Sudan's ruling military council and opposition leaders have signed a power-sharing accord after all 9 talks. Thank you very much for being with us, but remember that security is everyone's business, so provide useful information to security agencies to ensure your security. You can join us at 6:45 a.m., noon and 6 p.m. every weekday for additional newscasts. This is Flo 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. You can send your views or information to flownews@gmail.com or visit www.flownews.com.ng for more stories. This bulletin was edited by Samson Eze. One more time, thank you and good afternoon.